Greetings, terrestrials, and welcome to Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. I, of course, am your host, Cliff McCallister, Czar of the Bazaar. Every week we join here, well, I guess every bye-week now, and even then the schedule's a little iffy, but every now and again we join here on twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed to talk about the strange, the bizarre, the unbelievable. If you can't name it, we want to hear about it. Be it ghosts, extraterrestrials, goblins, ghouls, interdimensional beings. If you can't name it, we want to hear about it. So join us right here every so often at Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. That's right. That of course, look at the chat blowing up. That's right, everyone. It's time! 2 years in the making! There it is, folks! A song I practiced maybe 2 times, 3 at best, before this performance. How about that? Welcome back, terrestrials, to Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Oh, the news we have for you this week! After 2 years of programming, after 2 whole years. Oh, this angle is an odd one to look at. There we go. As it was before and shall forever be, right here. At eye level. The comfort zone, as we call it. Home base. There we go. It's always an adjustment for a camera angle. But here is where I like you guys, at the same level as I am. Because, hold on, this is gonna get too loud if I'm not playing an instrument. You gotta keep the background music in check once you get into the monologue. Water break, everyone. Everyone, if you've played the theremin tonight, take a water break. Big Sack, glad to see you dancing in the chat. What are those? Little Koopas? Little Koopa Goobas? These look like Miss Piggy Koopa hybrids. And I love it. We've got alien celebrations. We got hard eyes. We've got folks being disoriented by the original sign. That's right, 2 years. 2 years here. Let me tell you something about this. Let me tell you something about this. When we started the show, there was no Twitch. Twitch didn't exist back in May 21st, 2020. No, not in our dimension. We only had Instagram Live. And if you wanted to go on Instagram Live, Instagram would not flip your video. So you had to do it yourself and design a sign that would read correctly for Instagram viewers. And here we are, in in HD. 16 by 9. No Steve, not yet, but we will have Steven during our 2 o'clock, during our second hour. At 9 o'clock, Steven will be joining us, and then at that hour, we'll be taking phone calls, but we've got plenty of news tonight. We've got some great, big news, as many of you who have watched the show for so long are aware. If there's one thing we've been trying to get to, it's a point of normalcy in our exposure to the unexplainable, to the bizarre, to the strange and unbelievable things that exist within our cosmos. Yes, the things that we cannot quite explain coming in from the skies above us, or the seas below, or just through interdimensional rifts that we can't quite grasp or understand. That is what we are trying to unlock. Sorry, I'm experiencing looking at my body in a trans way. And I am figuring it out from all the angles. That's right, folks. Alright, hold on. Drink break. We're rocking. We're rolling. Alright, here we go. After years of hard work and dedication, we have finally created a rift in reality that has allowed Congress, of all places, to talk about extraterrestrials and unidentified aerial phenomenon. Look at this. Look at this. Oh no, I did not put the videos in. There was so many things to do on the checklist before the show and so little time to do it, folks. You may have noticed that the timeline for things has gotten less consistent. That is because I am very busy at my other job. Alright, that is not the file that I want. That is the file that I want. Just this week, the House Subcommittee on National Intelligence held a meeting to discuss unidentified aerial phenomenon and the official studies of it that are happening. Now let's oh, I do need my Bluetooth. Oh, fantastic. Rockin' and rollin'. Here we go. This is me running the show on my own. All of the buttons, all of the work. But once Steven gets in, it's going to be a lot smoother.
Cruise.
All right, so what we are about to watch are the initial. I've been watching these clips. I've been compiling highlights to share with you, the viewer, all the good stuff from the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force meeting. So this is the first batch of highlights. Let's take a look and then
step-by-step procedures for reporting on a UAP on their kneeboard.
I need to hear it too.
In the cockpit and in their post-flight debrief procedures. The direct result of those efforts has been
this is where it's so much better with Steven's help.
Have step-by-step procedures.
I am so sorry, folks.
UAP on their kneeboard in their
you can hear
cockpit
this
and in their post-flight debrief procedures. The direct result of those efforts has been increased reporting, with increased opportunities to focus a number of sensors on any objects. The message is now clear. If you see something, you need to report it. And the message has been received. In fact, recently, so what have we learned so far? Any given observation may be fleeting or longer. It may be recorded or not. It may be observable by one or multiple assets. In short, there's rarely an easy answer. For example, let me share with you the first video that we have here today, which shows an observation in real time. There it was. That's, in many cases, that's all that a report may include. If and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they likely fall into one of 5 potential explanatory categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, U.S. government or U.S. industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, or a other bin that allows for a holding bin of difficult cases and for the possibility of surprise and potential scientific discovery. The team's made a lot of progress, but we really are just establishing the foundation for the more detailed analysis that's yet to be done. And with your continued support, we can sustain that momentum necessary to produce data-centric analysis and understanding of the phenomena. I look forward.
With your support, we can keep this program going. That's right, viewer. For now and for this very moment, if you support the UAP task force, just write a check and send it to your congressional person. Here's what we need you to do. Here's what we need all of you to do to keep this thing going. Write your congressman and say, I need you to defund the war effort, but keep funding the UAP task force. We cannot keep hurting each other this way, but we can study the extraterrestrials that are out there and find out more and more about this fascinating subject. Please, 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 stop the funding of the bad thing and keep funding this one very, very good thing. They'll know what you're talking about. They will know because each and every person working in Congress is plugged into this. It is the one thing that they can all agree on. We have to look to the skies and figure out, what are these extraterrestrial beings above us? What are these unidentified aerial phenomenons flying in the skies ahead? How on earth are we ever on Earth going to figure out what's going on here? Well, you can only do that with proper funding, and you need to write your congressman today. I'm begging you. I am literally begging you. Please. It's been 2 years. We've been doing this show for 2 years, and we just got Congress to talk about this. I need you, please. I'm so desperate for you to send your money to Congress to say, this has to go to the UAP program. It can't go to anything else except for healthcare. Healthcare for everybody and the UAP program. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking of my audience. And also to support the show at patreon.com/strangetimesnd with Cliff McCallister. That way, you can support us here. Not only does it support me, but it supports Steven. And he's not even here right now, but he will be soon. And when he is, we're going to take calls. That's right. You'll have a chance to gab with Cliff McCallister, Zara the Bizarre. Or you'll have a chance to share your experiences with the strange and unexplained. Anything that you want to talk about. It's open lines tonight once Steven gets here. But first, you must listen to the news. All right, and now I have to pick the second clip. Okay. All right, so to give yourselves an idea of the people who are working here, the folks who are putting this together. Oh, stop it. All right. Wow. Oh, was that other one wasn't playing while I was talking, was it? I don't know. Okay, look. Here's where it is. We're talking about the media. We're talking about our very first of the two guests, our special presenters about the UAP phenomenon. And in this clip, the Mr. Carson, the representative who is running the show, asked a very important question that I think is, in a way, it's like the reverse skeptic question. It's the question that looks at things from a point of belief, and I really enjoyed this question. And the answer, well, let me tell you.
One of Congress's concerns is that the executive branch and administration from both parties has been sweeping concerns about UAPs under the rug by focusing on events that can be explained and avoiding events that cannot be explained. What can you say to give the American people confidence that you aren't just focusing our attention on low-hanging fruit with easy explanations?
So the way that we're approaching this is with a more thorough, standardized methodology than what we have in the past. First and foremost, the Secretary of Defense is chartering this effort. This is not someone lower in the Department of Defense. And he has assigned that task to the Office of Secretary of Defense, the Undersecretary for Intelligence and Security. That's me, because I'm responsible for looking at intelligence matters. I'm responsible for security matters. This is potentially both. So when you start concerning ourselves with the safety of our personnel, the safety of our installations and bases, there's no other higher priority than what we have than actually getting after this. And as you have stated, we have been assigned that task to actually stand up an office, the AIM-SOG, which I believe the name, sir, will likely change. But we have moved forward in terms of moving to establish that office. We have, as of this week, picked a director for that effort, a very established and accomplished individual. We've done
I tried to keep that so clean. But I have no floor crew to count me down and let me know when the clip ends. If you've ever worked in television, now you understand how it is from both sides. And now the flood of people telling me I'm muted. Alright, okay, where were we? The end of that clip? It really set up a line. Hold on 1 second. What was that? How?
One of Congress's concerns is
moving to establish that office. We have, as of this week, picked a director
as
for
of
that
this
effort,
week?
a very established and accomplished individual. We've done
An accomplished individual? A thing with absolutely no gender to speak of? Why, could it be? A czar so bizarre that they are said by some to be accomplished? Well, I don't know. I guess if they couldn't say in a public meeting in front of Congress who this individual could be, well, 2 years of work, I mean, Who could think of a bigger accomplishment than that, really? I mean, a show happening almost weekly for 2 whole years? Well, no. In the community of paranormal news podcasts, live streams, practically unheard of. And yet here, an immense personal journey documented for all the world to see. Well, I don't know. That feels like some sort of accomplishment. Some sort of individual accomplishment. Well, don't you think? Don't you? Don't you out there at home? Yeah. Wow. You know, I knew it. I knew I could count on you to agree. But, you know, I guess if they couldn't say in Congress who it was, I guess I couldn't tell you either. Now, make no mistake. The man that was speaking there, a good, close, personal friend of mine, he's well, the thing about him is, even though he takes things very seriously, at the end of the day, he's a bit of a nerd.
it's fair to say that you are a science fiction fan, is that correct?
It is fair to say that I am an inquisitive mind who has spent 40 years in the intelligence field and has focused on both science and science fiction. That is fair.
Could you tell us about it?
Yeah, well, look, my generation grew up looking at space sagas and the Apollo program. So all of us who grew up in the 60s were just thrilled by watching our first astronaut land on the moon. That was a momentous occasion to people who were of different generations. Some of them didn't believe that it happened. I still have relatives and friends who don't believe it happened, right? Science fiction to them. But to us, it was, no, that's the progress that we've made. And so I was enthralled by that, and I've taken that to heart. I enjoy the challenge of what may be out there. I have mentioned to you that, yes, I have followed science fiction. I have gone to conventions, even. I'll say it on the record. Got to break the ice somehow. But, you know, I have done that, right? But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And he has to get there in front of Congress and just testify for having a hobby. His having an interest in something so unbelievable as beings in space might call to question any validity these studies might have. It's baffling. It's baffling that their stigma is here, and they say this many times. They said that in the first clip with another close personal friend of mine that we showed that very first clip. He was saying they've been working to destigmatize this. This isn't just some silly thing, and here we are in front of Congress talking about it. I'm thinking we're getting very close to a full 100% destigmatization of unidentified aerial phenomenon, of unidentified flying objects, of the unbelievable. And that's what we've been trying to accomplish here on the show. Every week we say it. We do this as a public service so that more people may know there are things out there that you cannot explain, that do not make sense. The batteries that are low on the Bluetooths. You've got to understand that you will have to turn off the Bluetooth, or you won't hear the video when it plays next time. Alright, this is the thing. Anything is out there, and this man is standing up and testifying. He is doing the good Lord's work. Letting us know that there is more out there than us. There is more to it than just us. We've got to look out for each other and come together so that we can look into the skies and find something bigger than ourselves. But also, I do want to go back to a certain part of that clip. We're talking about the moon landing. I think this bears a little bit of repeating here.
It's fair to say that you are a science fiction fan, is that correct?
Space sagas and the Apollo program. So all of us who grew up in the 60s were just thrilled by watching our first astronaut land on the moon. That was a momentous occasion to people who were of different generations. Some of them didn't believe that it happened. I still have relatives and friends who don't believe it happened, right? Science fiction to them. But to us,
science fiction to them. This man is in one of the highest level of government. And he's got friends and family who will tell you that the moon landing was an incredible work of film by Stanley Kubrick. But he's talking about his friends and family, the man at the highest level of government. And maybe you have to wonder, perhaps, if there is a little truth to that statement. What if he's saying, you never know, maybe he's got some friends in the highest level of governments who think that the moon landing didn't happen, and it's like, yes, sure, alright, guy who runs the CIA, but like the secret side of it, sure, man, I get it, yeah, alright. You know, sometimes things slip like that. Like when Paul McCartney goes on Letterman and accidentally says, oh yeah, I died, it was me the whole time, a look-alike. Sometimes they just slip up. Now, let's get on to our next clip. Earlier on, during the highlights reel, they showed a great clip here. Yes. And that very short clip, 7 seconds long, this clip. And it's all, why don't the emojis go floating by anymore? Because that's something that Steven knows how to do. I really encourage you to keep doing that in the chat. But that is something that Steven knows how to do with Twitch, and I do not currently know how to do. It's not set up that way when I do the stream, because that is something that I am learning. But this is why Strange Times Indeed is a team project. And even though right now, you know, we have this alternating schedule, where things are a little in flux, because, everything's just kind of in flux schedule-wise, both between me and Steven. Sometimes it makes sense for me to do a show solo, and sometimes it's great for both of us to get together and do, like, Strange Times full on and get the phone calls and everything. But we want to keep the show going regardless of whether or not Steven's available. But we also, Steven is a very big part of the show, and that's why you can see Will you do more Let's Plays? Oh, absolutely, Big Sack. Absolutely. I did 2 rounds of Outer Wilds recently on this stream. I don't know if you caught those, but I did those recently. And we're going to do more games. It's a fun way to kick back and have like an easy show, not really on a schedule where it's like, oh yeah, let's play a game for a little bit. Like, I've got some free time, I want to load up a game, and we'll do it together. And that's fun. So we're definitely going to be doing more of that, more of utilizing Twitch for what a lot of people utilize Twitch for, which is playing video games online, because video games are fun. I enjoy them, and it's a fun way to spend the time. And if you can come along for the ride, or you're interested in coming along for the ride, please do. Smash that follow button, hit that subscribe, blah, 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 blah. We're definitely going to be doing more of that, but right now, because so many things are in flux logistically, we want to keep things going, and we want to do the show when we can, when we have Steven and me together. But we also don't want it to be something that we're doing to a degree where it is counterproductive to our health to be doing taking on more than we can in a week. So that's why things are a little in flux right now, but still, we've got 2 years going to the show, and we're going to keep doing this for a long, long time. I'm having so much fun, and we're going to keep doing it. Like I said, it's going to continue evolving, and it's going to be a lot of fun, different things, video games, but also, like, you'll know the streams are different because they'll be titled different things, and also they'll be marketed differently. If you follow us on social media at Strange Times Indeed, if you join us wherever, like, that's what we want you to do, and to, it's going to be happening. We're going to keep doing it. It's so much fun. And sometimes it will be a video game stream that's not Strange Times Indeed proper, and those will be named, like, our Outer Wilds streams are called Space Hog Day, because if you're not familiar with Outer Wilds, it's a game where you are in a space program, you go up into space, and 22 minutes in, like, the sun supernovas, and then you're caught in, like, a Groundhog Day loop, and you have to solve these puzzles out in space. So we call it Space Hog Day. And we've done 2 of those. We're going to do more of them. When we were on Met Comedy Night's page, and we were just starting doing a few game streams every now and then, we had, like, the Crossing Over with Cliff. We were playing a ghost hunting game. I don't remember what it was called. It was kind of like a gruesome, a very spooky game. And you can find those on our YouTube page. If you go to link, I can't believe I'm doing all of the links in a row. If you go to Linktree, if you go to the Strange Times Indeed Linktree, it's linked on our Instagram. If you're on our Instagram, you can hit that link. This is the roadmap to get to all the things. On our YouTube page, you can find those streams as well. We did Crossing Over with Cliff, and we played that spooky, scary game, and you can see me get spooked and scared and have a very good time trying to figure out those scary puzzles. Crossing Over with Cliff, and we helped those ghosts cross over to the other side. It was a great fun time. So we're going to keep doing more stuff like that, and we're going to keep doing more Strange Times Indeed proper, but, with the frequency of this news, it makes sense for us to space it out a little more, and also with our schedules, it kind of makes sense for us to space it out a little more. So we're just making sure that we're approaching things in a healthy way, because it's 2022, and we're not burning the candles at both ends anymore. And I think that's not just for us here at Strange Times Indeed, but it should be for you at home as well. And I hope that if you're not in a place where you can't burn the candles at both ends, I hope you find yourself there soon, because it's much nicer when you can breathe. Let's see. Here we go. That said. Oh yes, the UFO clip from earlier. Let's get right back into that news. During the highlight reel, they showed us 7 seconds of a UAP sighting, and so let's get a look at this, because we have to break down this footage. It's only 7 seconds. It's very quick, but, like, let's just look at it.
First image, it looked like it was outside of a plane window. And if you wouldn't mind going up to the screen and tell us what we're seeing. Not that you can necessarily tell us what we're seeing, but
right.
Explain what we should be looking at in that first image.
Absolutely. And Alexi, what I'll ask is if you can stop it at a certain point.
And are we looking outside of a civilian aircraft window? Is that what we're looking at? Okay.
Really take this clip in. Now look, it's all right. Now you can see here at the bottom of the screen. You can see here at the bottom of the screen. Hold on, I need to put myself in the right spot. Oh, what am I dragging? Here we go. Again, the magics that Steven brings to the show. All right, there we go. A perfect over-the-shoulder shot. You can tell this show is run by somebody who worked in television, making it up as they go along, years after the fact. All right, now what you can see right here, right over here. You see this? You can see right here, they are dragging the VLC player button, and they are trying to find that perfect frame. But it's got to be in there somewhere. It's oh, is that? Maybe that's it.
Is that it right there?
Well, yes. There you can see it right there. Kind of.
What we're supposed
Oh,
to
and hold on. Maybe they can scoot it back a little bit. Can we yeah, and there. That's the spot. Well, it goes. Okay, so if you saw it, really, it. Well, it was. Oh, hold on. It was right. It was. Shoot. Oh, it's there. It's in that like last moment. It goes, zoop. It goes right past. Whoop.
Okay, if you could stop that.
Maybe.
That's not the one.
Yeah, if they can just find it's the frame. It's closer to the end, though. You can kind of see it during in the beginning. It's kind of floating there, I think, unless that's like well, that seems kind of like it's a reflection. So it's hard to see exactly what is here. I think the thing is closer to the end. If we just and there it is. And yeah, if take it back. Well, I guess take it forward now from this point. Right there, yeah. In that area of the clip. That's where it is. And yeah, it's yeah. If they can just hit pause at that exact time, okay.
So as you can see, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep track of these things. This is
The laptop we're working with is not as easy for stopping that video in the right spot.
Yeah, and like if they were on a Mac, they could probably.
What are we observing?
What you see here is aircraft that is operating in a U.S. Navy training range that has observed spherical object in that area, and as they fly by it, they take a video. You see it looks reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
Real quick.
And is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific object is.
And is this one of the situations where it is? That's the object that we're looking at right there. Thank you. And is this a situation where it was observed by the pilot and it was also recorded by the aircraft's instruments?
We'll talk about the multi-sensor part in a later session. But in this
Illuminati
case,
cut the mic.
We have at least that.
At least that. Now, Isaac, you're absolutely right. It's a poor craftsman that blames his laptop. It is a true woman that will own up to her inabilities to run OBS as well as her incredible technician when we do the show. But boy, what a delight to just watch that clip. It's not just, you know, it'd be one thing to just let you see that moment, to get it to fly by, but the real treat is 4 minutes on the floor of Congress, scrubbing through a VLC clip, a VLC player of a 7-second clip that they could not think to screenshot ahead of time, probably because they did not think the other congressmen would bring it up again. But if you're going to bring a video to your meeting in front of Congress and you're going to say, here's a video that we have of a UFO, you're not going to expect them to ask more questions about it. You didn't think they would bring that back up? That was the one clip that you had that you showed in the early part that you could not explain. The one that you could explain, I did not include for the viewers to watch here because our show isn't about drones and how they translate through UV lights. But that's just a delight, and I can't wait to watch Congress delve into talking about UFOs more if this is what it looks like when they're doing this. Because, man, does that make my show look spiffy. C-SPAN, I have no interest in working in television at this time, but please, don't hire me. Here we go. Let's take a look here. What is coming up next? Oh, all right. Okay. Now,
it's also been reported.
Stop. All right. Now this part is great. There's a representative here, Mr. Gallagher. This is a guy who did his homework, and he's coming full blazed, like prepared to talk about UAP phenomenon. Check this guy out. I don't know who he is or where he's from, but he's the hero of the meeting.
It's also been reported that there have been UAP observed and interacting with and flying over sensitive military facilities, particularly, and not just ranges, but some facilities housing our strategic nuclear forces. One such incident allegedly occurred at Malmstrom Air Force Base, in which 10 of our nuclear ICBMs were rendered inoperable. At the same time, a glowing red orb was observed overhead. I'm not commenting on the accuracy of this. I'm simply asking you whether you're aware of it and whether you have any comment on the accuracy of that report.
Let me pass that to Mr. Bray. You've been looking at UAPs over the last 3 years.
That data is not within the holdings of the UAP task force.
Okay, but are you aware of the report, or that the data exists somewhere?
I have heard stories. I have not seen the official data on that.
So you've just seen informal stories, no official assessment that you've done or exists within DoD that you're aware of regarding the Malmstrom incident?
All I can speak to is what's within my cognizance of the UAP task force, and we have not looked at that incident.
Well, I would say, it's a pretty high-profile incident. I don't claim to be an expert on this, but that's out there in the ether. You're the guys investigating it. I mean, who else is doing it?
If something was officially brought to our attention, we would look at it. There are many things that are out there in the ether that aren't officially brought to our attention.
So how would it have to be officially brought to your attention? I'm bringing it to your attention.
Sure,
this is pretty official.
Sure. So we'll go back and take a look at it, but generally there is some authoritative figure that says there is an incident that occurred. We'd like you to look at this. But in terms of just tracking what may be in the media that says that something occurred at this time, at this place, there are probably a lot of leads that we would have to follow up on. I don't think we are resourced to do that right now.
Well, I don't claim to be an authoritative figure, but for what it's worth, I would like you to look into it. And
sure.
If for no other reason, you could dismiss it and say this is not worth wasting resources on.
Will do.
And
now, to give a little bit of context here, yeah, I can only speak to things with it. You know what I also love is pretty high-profile incident. It's pretty big stuff here. But to give a little bit of context here, the Malmstrom incident is an incident that happened in 1967. So when these folks are looking into incidents right now, their job is not to look back at stuff that was happening during Project Blue Book. Their job is to be looking at the stuff that is happening like getting reported as we go. And they've gotten like 400 reports since they started doing this, coming in from things as they go. But they're not necessarily looking into a backlog of cases from the 1960s or so. Now, if we were writing our congressman, as I instructed you to do earlier in the program, and saying, please divert all war funding into the UAP task force program, then, because it's already in the DoD, so it should be pretty easy to do that. Like, I don't entirely know how it works, but I think it's for the betterment of society that we do this. Then we can collectively have the resources to look further back into that thing. To the point where if we're putting our research into a thing that is within the realm of sci-fi, as we were grilling our nerdy friend, Mr. Robert Moulton, if we can look into and we can expand the UAP program, then who's to say we couldn't use the reasoning of this very own program to justify government funding for time travel research, and then they can go back in time and do that. Although maybe, you know what, let's not give the government time travel. Continuing on with the future clips of the show. Now this, of course, the highlight. Oh, wait, let's talk about Mr. Gallagher one more time, though. Because after this, he goes on to, before this, he's asking them about questions like, I know there was Project Blue Book before this. Has there been anything in between? Is there anything in between that we don't know about? He's like really, really trying to find out about like, what are the secret programs between Project Blue Book and now that are looking into UAPs that we don't know about? And is there one of those? Yeah, probably most likely, but like those guys aren't talking to us at all. You know, those guys aren't coming up in front of Congress because Congress doesn't know they exist. But they're looking into the UAPs, and let me tell you, but this guy is like, he's just focused on it from that military aspect. He doesn't know about the interdimensional government programs. You know, you've got to get way past that. They don't even tell the president about those ones. But that Mr. Gallagher, he knows that, and that's why he's asking those questions. And then afterwards, he cites. I really should have clipped this one. Hold on. Let me pull it up because we can at least listen to the audio of it together. You know that the mouth is really the theremin of the body, in that it is the noisiest instrument. And there are two knobs, the pitch and the volume. And those are the only things you can control, except for what you do with your lips. And the lips are the fingers of the mouth. All right, we're just going to have to scrub the full thing. Find that moment. Okay, all right. You guys won't even be able to see this, but you're going to be able to hear it once I find this clip. It's coming up. It's not very far away at all. Oh my gosh, it's so lovely. But you have to listen to this one moment of grilling. I promise you it's good. I promise you it's good. Oh, all right. Hold on.
You're the guys investigating it.
Okay.
Called the Admiral Wilson memo or EW Notes memo.
Listen to this.
I am not.
You're not.
Are they familiar with this memo?
Aware of that.
Okay.
Or we're
this is
not
a
personally
document
aware.
in which, again, I'm not commenting on the veracity. I was hoping you would help me with that.
Maybe
in which the
they,
former
can
head of
understand.
DIA claims to have had a conversation with the Dr. Eric Wilson and claims to have sort of been made aware of certain contractors or DoD programs,
Secret programs,
that
probably,
he tried to get fuller access to and was denied access to.
Why not?
So you're not aware of
No.
that?
I'm not aware, Congressman.
In my 10 seconds remaining, then, I guess I just would ask, Mr. Chairman, unanimous consent to enter that memo into the record.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it.
And there it is. And so,
Krishnamurthy.
right there, not only does this guy, Mr. Gallagher, he comes up and he says, there are secret government programs that they don't even want the president of the DIA to know about. And he talked about this on the record in this memo right here. Now, I don't know if it's a real memo, but maybe you guys know if it's a real memo. Can you look into that for me? And he makes them put it in the record of Congress, this important memo of this little conspiracy here. So, Mr. Gallagher, you're getting the work done. You're getting those questions answered. You better not turn out to be a QAnon guy. If somebody in the group Googles him and he's a QAnon guy, I'm gonna be so upset. So let's live in the fantasy where these guys have one job and it's looking at UFOs. Because it's 2 years. That's what we need. 2 years of this program. Okay, there was that clip. Now this. All right. Here's the thing, folks. Here at Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, we've talked about many topics. We've done many bits of research into different theories about unidentified flying objects, and one that we spent a particular amount of time on was unidentified submersible objects, or invisible residents. The Invisible Residents by Ivan T. Sanderson. Early on in the production of this show, we were given a gift from a friend, Sparky, who works at Wonder Book and Video, home of used books and video cassettes. And he put this book aside when it came in, Invisible Residents. He said, Cliff, I think you're going to need this book for your show. And I got it, and I looked at it, and I said, this might be the most important book ever written. Invisible Residents, a disquisition upon certain matters maritime, and the possibility of intelligent life under the waters of the earth. That's right, intelligent life underneath our waters. Perhaps an intelligent life form that has evolved there since the beginning of time. It's not entirely sure. But somehow, there have been so many sightings of unidentified flying objects coming out of the water, and Ivan T. Sanderson compiles a whole mess of them here, and there's a whole bunch of notes. We did a 3-part series on this. And we are not the last podcast on the left, guys. I am one guy, and I am one gal, and I have other jobs to do, and I can't read about one subject and do 3-part series all the time. But we did one about this, and we're gonna do more. We're gonna do more as time and space expands into the world of the strange and the bizarre. We're probably gonna do a book club at some point when they re-release The Uninterrupted Journey, the Barney and Betty abduction story. I forget their last name, and I apologize to them. But we're in the middle of talking about unidentified submersible objects. Someone definitely, the Barney and Betty Hill. Boom! Got it, baby! Alright, there we go. Rockin' and rollin'. Look, I'm not a college professor. I'm a space gal. Barney and Betty Hill, there it is in the chat. Okay, I said it before it came up in the chat, but because of the delay, but Isaac, we probably hit it at the exact same time. So that's love, baby. Alright, here we are. We talked about this for so freaking long. We talked about this for 3 whole episodes. And I took notes, and I underlined it and everything. We broke it down, and you can watch it on our YouTube channel. And I'll link to it on our website, strangetimesindie.com. Go to strangetimesindie.com. You can see news about the show. You can keep updated on when we're doing streams. It will be posted there. It's got a link to this Twitch page that you're already on, and it's got other links there as well, I think. But in the show notes for this, when I post this video on YouTube, and then that gets posted on the website, then it will go up with a link to the Invisible Residents thing. It's a playlist on our YouTube thing, so you can just watch those episodes too if you really want to get into that. But long story short, there might be extraterrestrials beneath the sea. Beneath the sea, or at least an advanced civilization down there that has been sending these spacecraft up through the waters and into our realm, and then into space and back. Because they're more advanced than us, living under the water. A species that evolved to not need oxygen all the time. Amphibious people! Swamp creatures! Look at this clip. Look at this clip.
It's also been reported that there have been UAP observed and interacting with and flying over sensitive military facilities, particularly not just ranges, but some facilities housing our strategic nuclear force. One such incident allegedly occurred at Malmstrom Air Force Base, in which...
My apologies, I thought I loaded the correct clip in. But I guess I just talked. And I did it with my mind. Here we go. Okay, here it is.
I assume we've never discharged any armaments against a UAP, correct?
That's correct.
How about wreckage? Have we come across any wreckage of any kind of object that has now been examined by you?
The UAP task force doesn't have any wreckage that isn't explainable, that isn't consistent with being of terrestrial origin.
Do we have any sensors underwater to detect on submerged UAPs? Anything that is in the ocean or in the seas?
So I think that would be more appropriately addressed in closed session, sir.
Okay. I assume we've never anything that is in the ocean or in the seas.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get the clip to the right moment. I just want to highlight that one more time. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's hold on. Okay, wait. Oh, it was right there. He said it. It was. It's right there at the end. Hold on. Let me just get the clip at the right point. Okay, and
detect on submerged UAPs.
Okay, hold on.
Being of terrestrial origin.
Okay,
Do
here.
we have any
Listen to this.
sensors underwater to detect on submerged UAPs? Anything that is in the ocean or in the seas.
So I think that would be more appropriately addressed in closed session, sir.
Okay.
Boom, baby! Boom! Do we have any evidence of unidentified submersible objects that we've seen under the seas? Oh, that is the one question that specifically gets punted over to the classified briefing. The classified briefing. They got something. They got some underwater footage there. Some evidence of unidentified submersible objects that they were prepared to talk about during the classified meeting. This could be it, people. The pieces are coming together. But we have to divert the funding to support this program. It's very important. Because it's right there. It's right there. And so here it is, folks. This is what we need you to do. Not first, we told you to write your senators, your congressmen, and say, get the funds to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. But now, what we need you to do is, if you are a member of Congress, if you were a member in that meeting, or maybe you're like an aide or something, I guess they probably wouldn't let an aide in a classified meeting. But what we need you to do is, if you could really nicely... I've begged earlier on the program, and I'll do it again. If, please, I really need you. I really need you. If you were there, if you were in that room, I need you to send in whatever that footage was, or whatever they talk about. We did this show for 2 fucking years. And they finally, in that moment, they get it and they put it in the classified section. I'm so close to seeing that footage. Please, if you work for Congress, I'm begging you. Send that email anonymously to strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. This is a journalism show. We will protect our sources. We will protect our sources. Just tell me what they said at the classified meeting. All right, was that good? Was that good enough for you? Are you happy? Are you happy? Please send me that footage. Please send me that footage. Water break. If you work for Congress, yes, please, my gamer girl tears. If you work for Congress, please send us that footage. I don't care what happens to you. Thank you, Big Zach. I don't care what happens to you. I mean, please do not get murdered on the behalf of our program. Please do not become an oft person who the CIA has just made to stop existing. Please don't do that for the sake of our show. But please send us that footage. Please. And the reasoning too, to talk about, you ask us, why can't we see the stuff that's behind? Why can't we see the stuff that was in the private thing? Hold on one second. Okay. I have Zoom open in another window because at some point, as I've said before, oh no, Spangler, stop it! This is the nicest piece of clothing I own. All right, the dress is okay. The dress is okay, but my Achilles tendon is about to get pet cemeteried. Stop it! All right. Legs up, ladies. All right. So basically, if this doesn't sweeten the deal, Congress, the dress is okay. If this does not sweeten the deal, Congress, I don't know what does. Perhaps an angle of light where I don't look like the palest thing ever made. All right, okay. Where was I? What was I saying? Congress, please. Oh, good. Are my legs safe? Can I put my legs down? Thank you. Please send us that footage at strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. Do not get murdered by the CIA for this show. Please, I would not like that. If that happened and I found out about that, I would be very, very sad. And the tears that I would cry because of that would be very, very real. And not to say what just happened wasn't real. It absolutely 100% was. But if somebody were to get murdered on behalf of this show, the show would end. That would be a show-ending moment. We would not do the show anymore if someone got killed on behalf of this show. So please do not ruin this show by getting murdered. Otherwise, please send us that footage at strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. Without further ado, I'd like to wrap up this news story thing as we are approaching the time in which we are going to get Steven on the show in some way or another. Gosh, I should figure out where my phone is, but I should do that while I get you this little clip right here. This is really this is how it closes out.
With that, I want to thank you all for taking it.
Stop. Look. This is how the meeting ends. Nothing too big or flashy before we go to the final moment, before we go to the classified section, before they say we're going to take a lunch break and go to the classifieds, but I thought this was a nice little moment here. Oh, yeah, right, right, yeah, there, 00.
For taking the time out. I also want to thank my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for participating in this very historical and important hearing. I think it's one of the few times we can demonstrate some degree of bipartisanship around UAPs and UFOs. So I love it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
There it is. The one time we can get a little bipartisanship is when we're talking about UAPs and UFOs, and we love it. We love to see it. Because at the end of the day, these things from beyond, these things we can't explain, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. And we were talking about it when Dr. Kevin Hainline came on the show and talked about the John Waters Space Telescope. Gosh! Gosh! I wish they didn't give it the name of that guy. It should have just been John Waters from the beginning. Or, I don't know, an actual scientist. But that's besides the point. When Dr. Kevin Hainline came on and talked about the John Waters Space Telescope, and he talked about how he's a fan of Star Trek. Much like our folks testifying before Congress here today. But, you've got to be, he said, we're not at a point where we're ready to go out and meet extraterrestrials because we don't have it together here enough. We've got to unite as one before we go out there. And that is why, at some point very soon, I will be starting a change.org petition for you all to sign for peace in space. It's the Space Peace Treaty that we will have everybody sign, and it says if you're going to go to space, you can't be warry up there. You can't go to space and fight other countries up there. And we'd really prefer if you didn't fight other planets up there either. And I understand the need for a defense system if that is something you're so super concerned about. And if that's the way that it's going to be, if that's the way that we got to do it, then we have to work together up there to build it as one world, not as a whole bunch of people who hate each other and are constantly tearing each other up. So the Space War Treaty Change.org petition will very soon exist, and I would encourage you all to sign it so that we can make sure that space is a place for peace. Space is a place for peace. If not here, why not there? We're not doing it there now. We don't need to do it there later. So let's make sure that it ends here, and hopefully not in that way, and we can have peace in space. And bipartisanly, we can all agree on that. And then, as a world, we can all agree on that. And we'll have peace in space. It's just as the Kinks sang, in my supersonic rocket ship. There are lyrics about love and acceptance in that song, but I don't have the exact lyric pulled up in my head. The theme came. And if it were not a copyrighted song, or had I practiced it ahead of time instead of riffed it during this bit, I will perform it for you, but I am not prepared to do that. Sorry. Sorry, that's just the way the show goes, and I want to let you know that sometimes I aspire to great things, but we all have limits on what we are capable of doing on the fly, especially when you can't just play a copyrighted song on the stream. If you're sitting at home, do this. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Actually, can I do this? Oh, no, okay. Here's what I want you to do. Oh, look, I'll put the YouTube link for the song in the thing. Alright, people, if you have the ability to queue up this song, or you can just listen to it at home, stop. We are not getting a copyright strike on our channel. We are not going to start a new channel and get a copyright strike on our 2-year anniversary show. Can I copy that? Can I paste that in, please? Will it not let me paste the YouTube URL? Please, please, please. Really? Ooh, okay. I can't paste the YouTube URL, but Steven just got home. So here's what you're going to do, folks. We're going to go to a little intermission here. I would like you all to pull up the song Supersonic Rocket Ship by the Kinks and give that a listen. And we will be back very shortly with more Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Greetings, terrestrials! The date is May 21st, 2022. The Earth is in retrograde, and these are some strange times indeed. That's right. We got so caught up in the 2-year celebration Theremin opening, we didn't even say the traditional line. But celebrating 2 whole years of Strange Times Indeed tonight, we are in our 2nd hour of the show. We took a little, 10-minute break or so, a very, very loose 5. And here we are back with more Strange Times Indeed. We're about to open up the phone lines, but first, everyone in the chat, you were all clamoring for him. You said, we gotta get this guy on the show. We miss him so. Well, guess what? No need to miss him anymore because our best friend, our technical hostess with the mostest, the Stephen Craig has returned.
What's up?
Welcome back, Stephen.
I'm here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. How have you been?
You know, a little birdie might have told me something that my ears should have been twitching or whatever that is about, like, someone might have been talking about you or something. But, I was teching something somewhere else that took precedent. I'm so sorry. I know I don't mean to say that you're not important, Cliff. You should take precedent always, But now I'm here doing tech again here on the Strange Times Indeed channel tonight. Whoa.
Steven, welcome back. I am flattered that you, like you said right there, I should be the ruler of the free world, and a lot of people feel this way. They said in that meeting, look, if I could waste everyone's time by sending you the clip I aired earlier tonight and have you clip it and go to the right moment, the UAP task force has a certain unnamed, unspecified, ungendered creature who just became the director. So I can't really say who it is, but someone who is quite accomplished. And I would say 2 years of broadcasting is quite an accomplishment.
Yes, definitely, most definitely.
2 years of respected UAP journalism right here.
Mm-hmm. For the people.
For the people. This is what we've been saying. Our whole show, the focus of our program is to destigmatize these incidents of unidentified aerial phenomenon, to get people to understand. Hold on 1 second. What are you doing?
There's something outside the window.
No, Spangler he's causing a ruckus.
Oh.
He's being a
That's Spangler.
little fellow. All right, Steven. While I have you on the line, I'm trying to get my screen arranged properly so we can chat and I can keep in line with the chat. How do I get my stream chat to get back into OBS? This is the kind of riveting stuff you people miss when you're not around.
Into your OBS, it should be a dock if you've got it linked.
I accidentally unlinked it. How do I link it back in?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. You should, go to your tools. Or
okay.
View docs. View docs. You need to view your docs.
Right, but if I turn off my chat and then bring it back on, it just disappears, but it does not dock back in. That's
what I'm thinking.
Maybe
you gotta
if I
manually
close
dock it back in.
I closed the dockable window. All right, well, we're not going to waste people's time with this. Let me find my iPad.
I've got your chat right here. Big Sack said hype, hype, hype. And Big Sack was putting these really interesting, specific, and special emotes that of...
Yes! Steven, if everyone was asking earlier, when you were gone, they said, where are the emojis? Why aren't the emojis flying up all over the screen? This is your moment, people. Show Steven how much you appreciate the hard work that he does for our show. Oh, Steven, you need to do that as a plugin on our...
Technically, all of the emojis are still linked to the Met Comedy Night chat. Right. So if you go and chat on the Met Comedy Night page, it will show up. Because look, actually, we still have the Met Comedy Night logo in the corner.
Yeah, and that stream is currently hosting this one. I did set it up so if folks go to the Met Comedy Night page, they can watch our stream. But likewise, if Met Comedy Night is streaming and we are not streaming, you can watch their stream on our page. So it's still a little bit together. We're still friends.
I got you right here. Oh, wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. I got you right here.
Here's what we
do. Boom! Where did it go?
I don't know.
Talk about this.
Oh, sure.
Boom, there it goes. Boom, there it is. Boom, there it goes. All right, you know what? Actually, I'll go. If you want some emotes, you don't have to leave. You don't have to leave.
I'm not leaving. So here's what we'll do. Because we've been doing this on the twitch.tv/MetComedyNight for so long, we can... Oh, it's going to broadcast this way? Okay, hold on one moment. Okay, so here's what we're doing. If you open another browser tab, or you go to the Met Comedy Night page, I am opening another feed there because I don't want to log. I'm not going to go through the process of logging out on the other one on my thing. Here we are, folks. Here we are. Where the heck is the camera on this supposed to be positioned? What the heck? This is the weirdest thing. This makes no sense on an iPad. This was not designed well for an iPad. I don't know how this looks. Oh, Steven, there you go. Ooh, look at that. For Pride. We love it. All right, terrestrials. Cliff McCallister here on the Met Comedy Night feed as well. We've been working with Met Comedy Night for the past 2 years doing this show. Well, first it started on our producer Kevin's Instagram page, and then it moved over here to Met Comedy Night on Twitch.tv. We did it every Thursday at 9 o'clock here, and now this little birdie is flying to its own Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Strange Times Indeed. Some of you are watching there, and maybe some of you are tuning in right here on the Met Comedy Night feed. That might be sideways. I really don't know how it's broadcasting over there, but it looks weird on my iPad. But we're broadcasting there, and so if you want some emojis to go in the chat, go put some love over on that Met Comedy Night feed, and in that chat, which is currently linked to Steven's feed, if you interact in the chat over here, if you send some love on the Met Comedy Night account and engage with that, it's going to appear on the Strange Times Indeed Twitch channel by magic. And you can do this. This is the wonders that Steven has provided for us and has created for us over there. But now because we're starting on a new channel, we've got to do some work. There we go. Ooh, thank you to Stephen Craig for chiming in there in the chat and sending those emojis. See, that is how it works. And in the near future, we will have those linked on this channel as well. And I bet Steven can probably even teach me how to do it on my feed too. So it will be linked up for all of us, and then you'll get to interact with the emojis that will pop up on the screen that you all love so much. I know that it's very popular for you all to send the emojis in, and for all of
it takes some work. It's not magic.
Yeah.
It takes this literally just. We plugged in and just went to a new channel. So we've got some stuff to build and work on. And you can follow us along that journey.
That's right. Thank you, Steven. Because that's the thing is like, we put so much work in the Met Comedy Night feed. And Steven, the work you've done on that channel the past 2 years have been so incredibly good.
Thank you.
You far out-earned what you were compensated for. I'll say that.
I farted out the earned compensation.
Yes, there you go. You farted out the earned compensation. You bet you did, buddy. And I think you did great for that time here on Strange Times Indeed. But also not just the incredible work you did on Strange Times Indeed, but like producing feeds for O'Crit and the Comedy Pigs, and going to the theater and sending out those live feeds on the Met Comedy Night page. Like you really kicked a lot of butt over these past 2 years.
I was not prepared to be celebrated this much.
This is 2 years of work. We're starting out on a new channel, and it shows right here like just how much hard work that went into the Met Comedy Night page that we still have to like re-put together over here on this new one. But we're going. This little birdie's flying its own way right now.
Well, I appreciate the praise, and you know what, Cliff, I just am so excited that you decided to stream, and I had something to put some of my tech interests behind. So you know what? Happy 2 years to you, Cliff. Give Cliff a round of applause. Wait, I gotta find the applause emoji.
And thank you to you, Steven, for all of your hard work. Great. Now that we've blown smoke up each other's butts for a long time, who wants to call in? Who wants to talk to us here on the show? We've got half an hour left of the programming. Look, I'm seeing folks. People are putting the hype train over on the Strange Times Indeed feed, and it might not show up here, but ooh, we love it over there. Y'all are the best. I'm so glad that I have these wonderful people along on this journey of this fun, silly show that we do. And it's all right. We're gonna end it over on the Met Comedy Night feed. Oh no, there's 2 people here. Well, one of them is probably you, Steven. We'll keep it going for whoever's there. And why not? Where is? My goodness, I should have never copied that link from before. Here we go. Copy invite link. I shouldn't have put the Kinks song in the chat another time. There you go. That is the link right there. what is happening? What's happening is we're taking calls, baby. We got 25 minutes left until we've hit our 2-hour mark. If you've wanted to call into Strange Times Indeed over the past 2 years, this is a prime moment to do so. This is a prime moment to do so. The Zoom lines are open, and we are waiting for you to join us. You can talk about anything. It can be, look, it's great when it's the strange and unexplained. That's what we prefer. But this is our 2-year celebration show, so if you just want to talk about whatever, like, we've been working on cultivating this little community of weirdos right here, and feel free to talk about what you're up to. I just like, let's chat, let's gab. We're just chatting tonight. We're just chatting on the Twitch channel, and let you pick what your theme is. We're just chatting tonight. We're just some gals gabbing. Right here. Some space gals. All right, somebody hop in. The link is in the chat. Join us and talk to us about the strange and unexplained, or, just whatever you're up to. Say hi. Are you part of the show? Introduce yourself. What would you like us to do? What would you like to see more of on Strange Times Indeed? What's your big idea? What's your big idea in general? What's getting you excited? Call in. Rustle some rappers. Do some ASMR work. Please. Chew into a microphone. If you don't like the show, if you hate our program, if you despise Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, and you hate watch us every week, every time we come on, and you say, gosh, I hate this show so much, I don't know why I watch it, why don't you call in and chew into a microphone? Really ruin my evening. Really make me listen to those. Get an apple. Get a big juicy apple. It's crunchy and wet at the same time. And just bite into it. Just bite into it. Steven, are you doing that right now? Like, do not do that. Someone needs to torture the show it cannot be we are a team. Don't do this to me. Do not make me listen to you.
It sounded like you were asking for it.
No, Steven, you missed earlier in the show.
This one's not very good.
I asked for it real good earlier in the show, and it was not me saying don't eat the apples. If you hate the show, Steven, are you saying you hate the show? You're like, please get me out of here.
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention to that context. I was hearing "eat an apple," and I just went to go. I was like, I have one, and I just ran for an apple.
To be honest, I was a little concerned that might happen.
Yep. You probably heard me.
But
shuffling.
No, when I'm begging for something to happen on the air, you'll know it. You'll know it. You missed it, but boy, oh boy, we did it. I swear they better send it to that email, because they better send us that footage. Steven, you missed the whole thing. Look, if you're showing up way late, what can I tell you? Watch the recap on YouTube. Congress, there was a hearing in front of Congress, Steven, and they talked about unidentified aerial phenomenon.
I missed it all.
I had so many clips. And let me tell you what. So I had so many clips, and I did not prepare a single one. Like, they were all clipped and ready to go, but they were not in OBS the way they would have been remotely organized with someone behind the scenes getting everything queued up. And so it was a little pause every time, because I was practicing pomp and circumstance on the theremin before the show to make sure I could also do that at the beginning.
Got it. Wow.
But we watched all of these clips, and they basically said, they were like, is there some evidence of unidentified submersible objects? And they said, we're going to save that for the classified meeting. So that was something they were prepared to talk about in secret. And I said, I put up the email, which you got it, Steven, strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. Please, that's our anonymous tip line. If you're a member of Congress or whatever, and you have information from that meeting, classified information, top secret information, we will protect our sources. Please send it to strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. But as I said before, please do not get murdered by the CIA for the sake of our program or anything like that. If that happened, then we would end the show. It would make me very sad, and we would have to stop doing it most likely because of all of the sadness I will feel. So please do not die for the sake of this show, but please send us that secret footage.
I would phrase it in such a way, I have a hunch.
I have a hunch that you should send your secret information to strangetipsindeed@gmail.com. And I also have a hunch that if that is dangerous for you to do not do it. But otherwise, please send it to us this way. Sorry, the cat's behind the sofa doing something or other. All right, folks, anybody going to call in? We'd love to chat with somebody tonight, but if nobody else calls in, then we'll bring this thing to a close. But Steven just came on. I'd really love for us to get to talk to somebody while Steven's here, because he set aside time for this, and I did all of the news while he was away. I mean, there's other stuff, but I'm not prepared to talk about it at this time. I spent too much time getting all the clips ready. We'll have to save that for a future one. We have two more Illinois Mothman sightings. 2 more Illinois Mothman sightings. Wouldn't you like to hear them? Wouldn't that be fun for you to do? Well, make sure you're subscribing here at twitch.tv/strangetimesindeed. How's that for a tease? Come on, people. Join us in the Zoom room and share your experiences with the unexplained. What do I have to do? Make you look at a cat? What do I have to do? Make you look at a cat? Come here. If I put the cat on camera, will you people call in? Ow. Please don't go below the sofa. Look at this guy. This sweet, sweet boy. Oh, hi. He does not want to be held right now. This is Spangler, our intern at the office. He has 3 legs. He's a survivor of a chupacabra attack. I have 2 legs. And so that's what, you know. Oh, what was, can we scrub that on the VLC player? Can we go back and look at that clip? Was that, oh, all right. Well, I did it. I don't know if that showed up. You also missed 4 minutes, Stephen, of Congress basically running the show as well as I do alone. And they had a 7-second clip, and they had no screenshot prepared of the one moment they needed that was maybe like 3 frames, and they're going back and forth trying to scrub it. It's 4 minutes long. It's 4 minutes long. It's fun. You'll watch the clip later. I'm sure I'll send it to you. But
Wonderful.
That's another thing. I would tell you all these things that even you missed, which is why no matter who you are, you always have to tune in to Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. And if you experience the strange and bizarre, give us a call. Click that Zoom link in the chat. It's destigmatized now. The good people at Congress worked really hard to destigmatize this for us. They worked really hard to make sure that we can do this, that this information is out there for the public, and that it is accessible to all. That's the importance of what we're doing. And we are putting it out there, and we are making a world where the viewer like you can join us and can experience all things strange and bizarre and have a safe place to talk about that with anyone, anywhere. We've been doing it for 2 years, and this train ain't stopping anytime. Even if...
Chugga chugga.
That's right, chugga chugga. Even if it's going to hit the destinations at different times of week than originally planned, and it might be inconsistent for a little bit, we'll get back into it. I promise it will find that flow logistically at some point. But right now, we're just in a period where we are working it as best we can.
Cliff, are you saying that Strange Times might be live at some strange times?
Yeah, it might be live at some strange times. That's why you have to follow us at twitch.tv/strangetimesindeed. We talked about this earlier. Big Sack was saying, are you going to do more game streams? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. We've been doing some Outer Wilds, and we're going to do more. We're going to keep doing some game streams, because that's a fun thing that I can do literally anytime, and it doesn't matter if Steven's there. It's nice if Steven can be there.
Although I'd love to get in on the gaming.
That we have to figure out how to do technically if it's both of us doing a game stream.
Oh, it's very easy. We just need... Another capture card. Or actually, it depends. If I'm playing the game on my computer, you know,
Crossplay, yes, if crossplay is enabled, absolutely. Crossplay, that's video game terminology for I can play it on the Xbox and Steven can play it on the PC and we'll still be on the same game.
Halo is a game where you can do that.
Really? What, the new one?
Only multiplayer, though.
Here's my thing. Oh,
not campaign.
See, here's my
You want to play campaign.
Yes, one, I want to play a campaign. And also, Halo is fun, but Halo is also like very, very just like run and gun shooting stuff. And at a certain point, my brain's like, okay, well, killing isn't as fun as they want it to be, you know? My favorite thing about playing Halo is that they gave Master Chief a grappling hook, and he can like Spider-Man swing. Like that's all I'm excited about. And you can grapple hook into guys. I'm like, that's cool.
You
don't kill anybody. But you know, we're gonna play Alan Wake probably. That's not a multiplayer game. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna do a bunch. You know, there's a lot.
You can kill someone while they're grappling hooking, and you get a reward for that. Big old medal.
Yeah, at some point off the air, you and I will look at the list of games on Xbox Game Pass and which ones have crossplay, and we'll figure out how we can do some streams together too. And we'll do some. We did Luigi's Mansion that one time. Do you remember? We did Luigi's Mansion for.
We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.
Well, that was so much fun too, and we like Didn't we beat the game? Did we beat Luigi's Mansion?
Well, we did a 5-story tower.
Oh, okay, right. We did like.
And there's a 10-story and a 20-story. I played with my buddy Mac.
We played that. I think we played that game for like 2 or 3 hours, Steven.
But
and it took us that long to get through 5 levels.
We went into it blindly. We did not know how to play when we started at all. We didn't know how to pass a certain level like at all. We learned about the room. We learned about the items you can collect. Now we know how to do it.
Did all the ghosts, but
no, there's some.
Challenges. It's a
with the gold.
Game,
you gotta collect the gold.
Mansion 3 harder than you think.
Ghosts.
You think them Nintendo games are easy? They make them difficult for a reason. Kirby's all cute, but he can suck up a whole car now.
Suck up a whole car?
Yeah, he's got mouthful mode. That's what they call it. That's the official name. Kirby's got mouthful mode, and he'll suck on anything. That little freak.
Kirby for the win.
I keep looking at the Met Comedy Night stream that I think you're the only person watching, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill.
That's not me. I'm on Strange Times.
Oh, 3 people are on the Met Comedy Night one now. Hey, Met Comedy Night people, if you want your emojis in the chat to show up on the twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed show, put those.
Hit us with emojis.
If you're watching us on twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed, this is your last call. This is your last call to call in, please. Let's get a call for our 2-year anniversary. We had so many calls on our very first episode, and then we had some calls on our second. No calls on our third, but I think our third show we just talked about the history of the Mothman. That was before Twitch even was how we did the show. And that was the show where I said afterwards, oh, I can do an entire show, just me, without any calls. And boy, what an empowering moment that would be. And now here we are, 2 years later. Steven, you've just entered the chat. I don't know what that is about.
What do you mean?
I don't know. What is it? So, I got somebody's joining the call. Who could it be? Who is that? Who's that? Hello? Who are you?
Permission to show you onto the feed? Permission granted. Okay. Hey!
Oh my goodness! Steven!
I bet you didn't know I was not actually in outer space. I'm in front of a green screen.
Look at the... Now you can see the behind-the-scenes technology that goes into this show.
It's a mess right now.
See, and this is the difference between the two of us. This is why we kind of need each other for this program. is I do the practical effects, and you do the CG stuff, and together it looks so beautiful.
That way, turn it around.
Yes, everyone. Here's your 2-year anniversary cable porn. Oh, I hope saying that isn't gonna get us kicked off Twitch. It's probably got TikTok level censors now. Look at all that cable accounting. Wow, accounting for all those cables. Incredible work. Incredible. All the stuff that goes into this and everything on twitch.tv/MetComedyNight, if you're joining us over here. That's the stuff that Steven's working on. You can't see it. You gotta watch it on twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed right now. That's right. We're on this feed just so we can get you to post the emojis and engage on this one, but that way it'll show up on this feed. We really appreciate your business here on Twitch. Twitch is owned by Jeff Bezos. He's a bad man who's been to space. Lots of bad men have been to space, but the good ones are real astronauts, like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, who punched a guy who said he didn't go to the moon. And you gotta kind of admire that gusto. So that's all the incredible stuff that the wire work that Steven's put together. If you want to create a Strange Times Indeed at your home, or you want to support a Strange Times Indeed in your life, whatever that project may be, and you think your role might not be the Cliff McCallister, you could be the Stephen Craig. And to learn more about the Stephen Craig, you can follow him on twitch.tv/thestephencraig, where you can watch him set up little test runs for other shows. And also, you played Tony Hawk many years ago one time.
Oh man, I hawked it up on my
And you
Twitch.
could juggle on there and stuff. People, if you're following us here on twitch.tv/MetComedyNight, you never know when Steven might want to do something fun. So go ahead and follow him on twitch.tv/thestephencraig.
You can follow me there.
He's a fun guy. He's very talented.
You'll definitely see backstage of some whatever stream I'm working on.
Yeah.
And then some Tony Hawk or Halo.
You'll see behind the scenes stuff, and maybe he'll play some games sometimes too. Or maybe he'll juggle. I don't know. It's his life. I'm not going to make him work. But you should follow him there, because, he's a cool guy. Sometimes he does things.
How these little dinky small rings?
Get those dinky small rings. All right,
They're so small.
I gotta move this behind me so I can stop cheating to the other camera. All right. Okay, look at that. Look at that guy go. The talent, the raw talent. If you are not following us here on twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed to sometimes see Steven do this, you juggled with an astrophysicist on this show.
I did.
Or an astrologer. I don't know if he's an astrophysicist, but you juggled with Dr. Kevin Halenine.
We juggled together, practically passing through the digital world.
Yeah. Like balls orbiting in the sky.
Just like balls orbiting the sun. Big old rocks.
Is the stream frozen, or has it not started back up yet? I don't know when that time was from. Is it not going? It says it's going on here. Try refreshing. Maybe some people are refreshing. That's unfortunate. We did the whole thing, and I think half the folks, maybe their thing didn't refresh. That's so odd. But,
yeah.
Weird. What a strange thing.
What a strange
time indeed.
Welcome back if you're back. We've been here a while. I mean, I got here a while back.
When was the welcome back? When was the welcome back though?
Half hour back.
Oh yeah, that's from folks. That's from probably when you hop back on. I don't know. But hey, folks, if you're still watching this, hey, I gotta try refreshing. Hey, did your thing work? Did you suddenly pop into the middle of a feed? Oh boy, that's so weird. That's unfortunate that for some feeds it automatically swapped over to Steven's feed when we did that transition. And
I pirated the show.
Yeah. So basically we had Steven waiting in line, and once I ended his feed, his one took over. But but I guess for some it needed to refresh that feed, and their browser didn't do it. So I apologize for those of you who missed the last part where I sat here and said, please call the show.
You didn't miss much. Apparently, I missed a lot whenever I tuned in.
That's right. You missed some pretty good recaps. You missed some pretty good recaps of the things that you already saw. Me explaining to Steven what he missed, and us saying please call. And also us saying pointing out the really good hard work that Steven has been doing over the past 2 years, and also the good hard work that he does on this show.
We also mentioned.
So if you just refreshed and now you're back, send some love to Steven in the chat.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my, I can't even see the chat. I haven't switched over to this chat.
See, this is the thing. Like all of the hard work that went into the other channel, now we have to replicate over here. So we're doing everything twice, and it's like, it's just finding the time to do it all. Yeah. Thank you.
You missed this. Because after I caught praise from Cliff, I gave Cliff the applause.
There you go. So here's what you also missed. We went live on twitch.tv/McComedyNight because people were asking why aren't the emojis showing up? And we said, well, now that Steven's here, we can get the emojis going. But currently, the emojis are linked to the twitch.tv/McComedyNight, and they're not set up for twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed just yet. They will be soon. But if you post things in the twitch.tv/McComedyNight feed, they will show up.
Wild
So
how that goes.
we started a pirate feed over there, so folks can send some love in that chat and get the emojis to show up. It's been a very high concept tech night that requires like a lot of work on everybody's end.
It's almost like the only thing I did was change the stream key.
Right. It's almost like that's the only thing you really had time to do before we did this specific show, you know?
I was coming from another place.
Yeah, and prior to, like, this is our 2-year anniversary special, so I said we should do that on the new channel. But until, like, my official tenure with Met Comedy Night ends, the plan was to do the Thursday night show, to keep doing that until until that's up in like the second week of June. Logistics. Well, schedule-wise, it doesn't work out for us to keep doing it on Thursday right now. I think the next show will probably be Saturday, June 4th, and I don't know the timing, but the theme might be it's gonna be this Wake Up with Cliff, like a silly morning show kind of thing. So you gotta follow us on twitch.tv/StrangeTimesIndeed, and you never know what it'll be, but you know, we're gonna keep having fun with the format. It's gonna be a great next 2 years or so. Or I mean, the next two, it's gonna be the best upcoming forever. But at the very least, 2 years to mirror these last two ones. And I said many times, the schedule will be flexing. It's gonna be, we stay flexible for the next so often, but we're gonna be doing so many different fun things. So make sure you're following us.
Strange Times will be on at Strange Times in the near future.
There you go. Strange Times at Strange Times. Broadcasting at Strange Times. There we go. So, you know, they're perfect. Thank you, Steven. See, this is why it's so crucial that we have Steven on the show. Nobody in the chat was debating this, but that's why it's so important. Well, anyway, that brings this night's fun adventure to a close. Wow, 9:59, perfect timing. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, everybody who commented in the chat. Isaac, Big Sack. If I know you personally, let me know, or not. It's part of the fun is the mystery of Big Sack. Barefoot 52, Amber, Katie Radigan made this incredible mug for the program. I am not sure if Katie's still watching, but this is one of my favorite things that I own, and I love drinking out of it every week. A lovely mug from our friend Katie Radigan. and a crucial part of the show. You gotta have a mug. You gotta have a mug, especially when we preach the benefits of hydrating as much as we do on this show. So thank you so much to everybody who has engaged with us, who has been a part of the program over the past 2 years. We can't wait for you to come along for all the stuff that happens in the future. Please, if you haven't, consider backing us on Patreon so we can keep doing things, expanding this program more. Right now, Steven and I communicate because we have the Met Comedy Night Zoom account, but I'm pretty sure logistically we're gonna need to get our own, for those purposes. So your money helps out and helps us continue this program. It helps support the meager annual payment that goes into keeping strangetimesindeed.com up and stuff like that. So it helps us get equipment for the show, and it also just gives us a little cash that we can spend. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're supporting the show that you like, and that gives us some freedom to have some fun. But it also does go into important show funding stuff too. It's for everything. It's so Steven can get some stuff for doing his hard work. So Cliff can so our producer Kevin can get some stuff for their hard work, but also so that we can also buy like books for the program, and we can have like this whole plethora of like information that we are able to tap into any moment, and do book clubs and support the show and all of those things. So I really appreciate all of your support there on the Patreon, and I really appreciate all of you chiming in the chat. Whether you back us on the Patreon or not, if you've been watching and maybe you'd like to get involved in the Discord, we've got a very inactive Discord, but I think it would be very, very fun to have it be a little more active. So consider that, because we could be chatting all the time about what UFO stuff is going on in there. And that's it. So thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate all of your all of your hard work sitting back and watching the show every week. But if you've ever called in, like, I love you for that more than you'll ever know. It means so much when y'all take part in creating this weird fun thing that we do. So here's to a fantastic 2 years. Let's keep doing Strange Times Indeed. And forever. Let's keep doing it until we have no choice but to do anything else ever again. Steven, you doing a little toast over there? Get in here. All right. Stay strange, terrestrials.